The strategy now for the Jubilee government is to force things back into normal, to ensure that things go back to normal as soon as possible. With time, people will start forgetting the politics. With time, people will start feeling tired and exhausted about all this politicking, and they'll go back to work, and life will return to normal. And Uhuru Kenyatta will serve his 5-year term. End of story. Yeah, that is what they're looking at right now. Well, fatal miscalculation, very fatal miscalculation. One would have thought that an easier way of ensuring that things go back to normal, and an easier way of making this strategy of Jubilee work, would have been to ensure that when Raila Odinga jetted back into the country, the police just ignored his entry to the country. They ignored his supporters, ignored everything, and let the guys walk around town, make noise, welcome Raila, let Raila make his speeches, and totally ignore. But what did they do? They did the opposite. They made sure they provoked trouble. They made sure people were killed. You know, this is why I keep on saying there's something very wrong somewhere. Very wrong. Yeah? Because it's okay to have a strategy, but there's some things you do which just go against your every strategy, against everything that you're planning. Now, the latest very, very prominent incident where Jubilee government shot itself on the foot was this issue of the swearing in of Uhuru Kenyatta at Kasarani. As long as Kasarani was sealed off, as long as the route from Kasarani back to State House for the luncheon and celebrations was sealed off, why would the government care what happens anywhere else in the city or in Kenya? Why would they want to care about that? Oh boy, it just beats me. Yeah. Now we all know what happened. Yes. Instead, what we had a situation, I don't know if I can call it desperation, I don't know what I can call it, where raw sewage was poured into the place where Raila Odinga and his supporters were supposed to meet. Raila Odinga managed to address his supporters for a few minutes, but as he, somewhere close to the sealed off Jacaranda grounds, yes. But immediately he handed over the microphone to Musalia Mudavadi. All hell broke loose. In fact, the timing was very curious. It's as if they were just waiting for Raila to finish speaking, and then they dispersed the meeting. Yeah, tear gas canisters landed in the place, shooting of live bullets. Yeah, right in front of television, international TV cameras, etc., etc. And then the saddest thing happened. The saddest of the saddest things happened. Yeah, 2 people dressed in police uniform and on a motorbike, yeah, raced through an estate, yeah, a very crowded estate, yes. Of course, there were high-rise buildings in this estate, and they shot discriminately, yeah, upwards towards the windows where the people were. Now, these were not demonstrators, yes. Most of these were people going about their daily business. At the very worst, some of them were trying to peep downstairs to see what was happening, yeah. But the area was generally quiet, okay. Now, in this shooting spree, a 7-year-old child, Geoffrey Mutinda, is shot through the head. Now, this the parents to this boy, yeah, the father is jobless. The mother sells or hawks bananas somewhere, okay, and they cannot afford a TV set, because if they could be able to afford a TV set, maybe Geoffrey would have lived. He would have stayed home and watched his cartoons or watched whatever he wanted to watch. And I say a big maybe, because who knows? Maybe bullets would have come flying through wherever the parents live, not far from where this young life was snuffed out, just like that. In any case, when Geoffrey Mutinda was shot, he was not in the streets. Yeah, he was somewhere safe with other children playing. Yeah, and there were adults ensuring that the children are safe, because they knew what was happening in the close vicinity, not in the exact area, but in the close vicinity. This is just too sad to talk about. Way too sad to talk about. But it's a reality. It's what has happened. Now you tell me, you go and you pull off stunts like that, and then you expect that at the snap of your finger things will go back to normal. How? Chances are that Geoffrey Mutinda's dad was looking forward to the swearing in so that things go back to normal, so that he can start job hunting again, yeah, after the swearing in. But now, do you think he'll go out job hunting? Or will he go out hunting for a coffin for his son? Oh boy. His neighbors, his friends, those close to him, people in that estate, will they be thinking of things going back to normal? I will tell you what, I'll tell you something if you have not seen it already, yeah? All the people in that vicinity, a vast majority of them, yes? Those who maybe were sitting on the fence, those maybe who didn't care what happened, they didn't care about the resist campaign by NASA, will now have crossed over and joined the resist. You know, this is how you radicalize people, really. This is how you radicalize people, yeah? By doing things like this, which are completely unprovoked, which don't make any sense. Clearly, somebody somewhere is not thinking at all, yeah? Probably somebody who has been put in charge. Okay, you take care of the NASA bit as you're taking care of the swearing in, yeah? Now, taking care of the NASA bit, yeah, and you make decisions like this that will definitely affect the swearing in, will definitely affect things going back to normal, okay? Because after the swearing in, the main news that came out of Kenya was not the swearing in. That one I can assure you. It was the shooting of this poor little boy. And I want you to take careful note of the way the international media is doing its news reporting, yeah? They're paying so much attention to Raila Odinga and the NASA brigade. Why? They should be paying attention to the new administration, new appointments. They're not, yeah? So ask yourself why. When you go and pull off stunts like this of excessive force on the population, excessive force on demonstrators, whatever they're doing, yeah, and especially killing of children, definitely you're going to attract attention away from your agenda, away from what you want to do, away from what you want Kenyans to do. Surely that should be obvious. Now, a close friend of mine for many years wrote me an email this morning, and part of the phrase in his email just has refused to leave my mind, yeah? I'll just read it to you. I'm really concerned, I'm reading what is written. I'm really concerned about where we are headed as a nation. I hope God's judgment will be bearable. That hit me very hard. He says he hopes that God's judgment will be bearable. Now, obviously, this is a very spiritual person who understands spiritual things. And those of you out there who are spiritual understand exactly what he means. Yeah, but let me just break it down in this way. Do you know what the first reaction from the police was over the shooting of this young 7-year-old Geoffrey Mutinda? They said it must be criminals. They have no idea who shot the boy. Okay? In fact, they denied it can't be the police. Now, take careful note of the following facts. Okay? The area has been sealed off by policemen. Riot police. Riot police are in the area. They've infested the area. They are all over the area. So much so that there's nobody else on the streets except the police. Whether they're in uniform or plain clothes, it's only the police, the government on the streets. That is fact number one. Fact number two, somebody shoots up, yeah, upwards, yeah. This is not an exchange of fire on the ground as somebody is escaping maybe from a crime scene. No, somebody is taking careful aim, yeah, at people, and they're riding on a motorbike. That is the second fact. Multiple eyewitnesses say they are police. Another fact, multiple eyewitnesses, not one, not two, many eyewitnesses say those are the police. In fact, yeah, what happens, a very curious incident. One of the people is so incensed, they come rushing downstairs and they actually catch up with the motorbike. Gosh, people are so courageous. They actually catch up with the motorbike and then they ask him, why are you shooting? Why are you shooting upwards? You know you've shot a boy, why? And then the response from the people on the motorbike is that you get on the motorbike, we go to the station. Are those criminals? You snuff out the life of a young boy with very poor parents. His dad is jobless. His mother sells bananas somewhere. Yeah, you're just adding distress. You're adding more pain to a family already in pain. And then you say you have no idea who did it. Yeah, assuming it's not the police. Well, the police were in charge in the streets. Yeah, so if it was a criminal, they should have been able to know which criminals are these who shot. Yeah, not everybody owns a firearm. Okay, and incidentally, the same people who shot were also throwing tear gas canisters. So which criminals are these who also throw tear gas? Oh boy. Anyway, you pull off something like this, and to the Jubilee government, this is absolutely nothing. Yeah, there's no statement of condolences. There's no outrage from the government side. Yeah, if anything, a very curious theory is now coming up. Now, this latest theory is that NASA are killing their own supporters so that they blame it on the government. Ha! In other words, what the government is telling us, NASA are sending their people, yeah, their hitmen, yeah, with the tear gas, who mix with the normal police, trying to quell the riots and so on. And so when these people are throwing tear gas at NASA's now own supporters, yeah, and innocent people like Geoffrey Mutinda, yes, they also kill children, okay? The whole objective being to blame it on the government. Hiyo kwenda ambia ndege. But I think now you get the drift of what my friend meant when he said, I hope God's judgment will be bearable. That statement makes me shudder. It sends chills through my spines, my spinal cord. Yeah? That single statement. Will God's judgment be bearable to a situation like that? You just analyze that situation. This is not political. It is not favoring any side. It is something that happened to a poor kid who does not even know which is which political party. God have mercy. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.